Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today, working on the Camaro. I've got some bad news. The motor's got to come out. It's burning oil pretty bad. Seems like we didn't run it very much, but the more we ran it, the worse it seemed to get. I'll post a little video kind of showing what it did after you did a drive. So that's pretty much what would happen every time you drive the car. And seems like when it was revved up, that's when it's burning oil the most. Seems like when you first started it up and revved it and drove it or whatever, it was okay. But the more you drove it, the worse the oil burning problem got. And actually, like I said, the longer we ran it, it's burning oil. You can follow the car and it smells pretty bad. So don't really know what's wrong. This motor probably sat for close to 20 years. It was in the shop here, so it was, in a climate controlled deal, so there wasn't moisture getting all over everything. But me and Dad probably think it's valve guide seals. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing because we thought we were pretty well done with the car here, except for the interior. But yeah, motor's got to come out. We do have something for it. Let's give you a sneak peek there. I'm going to do a video on that. We do have a brand new motor for this thing. So yeah, we're going to be swapping a lot of parts over. I want to reuse valve covers, the intake and stuff like that. So yeah. So I got to get this thing on the hoist right now. I was thinking about doing one last fire up, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to, it's been sitting a while. So we don't think it's a major issue with this motor. It feels, it runs really strong. It's fouling the spark plugs out because it's getting so much oil in there somehow. But we don't think it's because the motor's junk or anything. Once we get it out, I'm going to pull it apart. I'll put it on my little engine run stand. I'm going to probably try the valve seals. We'll see maybe if that fixes it or whatever. But yeah, we don't think it's a major issue with this motor. But yeah, it's just smoking pretty bad. So yeah, I gotta start the disassembly. I'm gonna roll it ahead here. I'll probably pull out the shifter because the trans, we'll raise it up, pull the trans out, and probably the hood's gotta come off. We'll pull the motor out separate. And yeah, hopefully this won't take too long. It shouldn't actually take that long, but stuff usually comes apart a lot easier than it goes back together. So we got to get that Tremec 5-speed. We got to dial that back in. it'll be our second time doing it, so hopefully it'll go a little faster than the first time when we were trying to figure everything out. But yeah, I guess time to start disassembly. Gonna do it NASCAR style. Oh, this really hurts taking this car apart. After it took us so long to get this thing back together. We got a running driving car, and probably in a few days here, we're gonna have a car with no transmission and engine in it. But got the shifter off, and yeah. Ready to go back on the hoist there. We'll get it up in the air, start taking stuff apart there. Okay, so I want to show you one other thing here. We got to swap out these long tube headers because they're hitting the ground. This car has only got, 500 miles or so. And I don't know if I can... Too much glare. You can see how bad that's chewed up from hitting the ground. And like I said, there's only like 500 miles on this. So yeah, they're just way too low. I think I measured maybe 2 inches. That's without anybody in the car. I'm sure once Dad gets in there, actually if a couple people got in there, you're gonna have even less. So Got to get rid of these long tubes. These long tubes will go on, they're supposed to go on my 70 truck. That don't need to worry about any clearance on that. That's lifted actually. And we've got some shorty headers for this. I'll show you that once we get there, but just wanted to show you how bad these are scraping. Car's just too low. It's either raise the car up a little more or change the clearances down here. So we're going to change the exhaust clearance. Okay, so it looks like Dad pulled the radiator, fan, shroud. I just got done pulling the plug wires and the separators. The distributor cap. I just pulled that all in one piece. Hopefully I can put it back in one piece, make it a little easier. Getting ready to loosen up these headers, and I believe they got to go in from the bottom. I'll loosen up, actually I'll take all the bolts out, loosen up both end ones. I'll raise the car up, pull them out from underneath. I know this side you got to go from underneath the driver's side, because you never get them out from the top side. So yeah, took a few other things off while I was back there, but really another thing about car being done doing all this work is you really got to be careful. You can't go near as fast as you want to. You drop one of these screwdrivers on the paint, and it could be a disaster. Small scratches and stuff you can buff out, but something really bad, you gotta watch out. These fenders, they're not the thickest, so you gotta watch out with elbows. Putting a lot of pressure on your elbow on there, you can really put a ding in there. I actually took a few dings that were in there out, but now that it's painted, I can't do that without repainting it. So really got to be careful with this top side of the fender. We've got a bunch of fender covers. Problem is we've used them on tractors for seats and all kinds of stuff. I don't trust that they're clean enough that they ain't gonna scratch the paint. I was using this rug here that it was washed at some point, and we never put it on the ground again. So I'm just using that just for a cushion, and as I'm leaning against it, I don't have no belt or zipper or anything, so I could lean over it with my sweatshirt and stuff like that. But I just want a little more cushion, a little more protection, just in case that screwdriver does slip out of your hand or something like that. So yeah, it's going to take a lot more time now that the car is finished. So that's another issue we got to deal with. But we'll get it. I'm going to go after those headers next. I did get a bunch of stuff off. I got the X pipe out. But I got to change that because they're going to some, I guess they call them mid-length or shorty headers. I don't think they're shorties, but they're just mid-length, I think. So I got to cut that up. I got to redo that. But that ain't too bad. If I get to that point, I'll be happy to do it because the motor will be in and we'll be on our way. But get to pulling more stuff off here, I guess. Got the drive shaft sitting on the seat for the desk here. I don't have a real soft place to lay it, and it's aluminum. I don't want it all scratched all up, so have to maybe find a box or something for that. Okay, so I've got the headers out, which is really what I was after because I need these to run my engine. So I'm not really ready to put his engine in there. So just trying to get a head start, getting some stuff off. So that's going to do it for this one probably. Stay tuned. I'll show you what we got that's going in there. It's pretty awesome. So stay tuned, guys.